Hey everyone, it's Cody. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're talking about the downtown Salt Lake City real estate market. I get a lot of questions about this. Obviously, if you found my channel here before, you probably typed in living in Salt Lake or something along those lines, and you want to know what's happening with real estate here in Utah. So for this video specifically, we're talking about Salt Lake City proper, and then we're going to zoom out and actually take a look at the entire county to get an idea of what's happening. Now, Salt Lake County is going to be the most populous county. The entire population is sitting at roughly 1.2 million for the entire county. However, the Salt Lake City proper area is going to encompass a population of roughly 200,000, maybe 250, depending on exactly how you measure it. And that's what we're going to be looking at here today. So some of these numbers might surprise you if you actually keep in mind how many people are in this general area. The number of home sales you're going to see is going to be pretty low, and that's because there's a higher number of renters in this area, and there's also just not a lot of home sales that happen because a lot of people want to stay and live in this area. So with that being said, as we jump into my computer here, as always, guys, if you're thinking about buying or selling real estate here in Utah, anywhere along the Wasatch Front, Park City, down south in St. George, or anywhere in the entire state, we'd love to help you. My information's here on the screen. Call, text, or email anytime. I love hearing from you guys. I've had people from all across the world reach out to me, and I cannot wait to hear from you as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into my computer here and take a look at this. So the first month of data that we want to look at is going to be this last month, right? January of 2023. I'm filming this here in mid-February. And looking at this information, you can see that home sales are down pretty drastically, right? We had 132 home sales in January of 2023. If we compare that to last year, we were at 248. So that's almost half the number of home sales that we saw this time last year. So that's, the first startling number here on this list. As we move over here, you're going to see that we've got these two other columns here. This is the median original listing price, and this is the median sales price, right? So what the home was listed for sale and what it actually sold for. Those are two very different numbers, and we've seen that here the last couple of months. If we take a look at this last month, we were at 95%. So this is actually a pretty big jump up in comparison to the month before, right? In December, it was actually the lowest. We saw this at 90%. We still had homes getting listed for sale here, but we actually saw homes selling for quite a bit less on a median basis, right? Almost 10% less. However, I think that might be a little bit of an outlier. If we actually look at the couple months prior to that, we've been hovering in this 93 to 95% range since about July, right? So you have a lot of homes here being listed at a higher amount and then being negotiated down. Maybe there's a price drop or two in there, and they end up settling somewhere between, let's say 5 to 7% below the actual listing price. That's what we saw here in January. On a median basis, we saw homes listed for just over $500,000 and actually selling for about $481,000 right here. And this includes all home types. I should mention that. This includes condos, townhomes, single-family homes. This includes your high-rise stuff. This includes your detached single-family homes, and at all price points, right? We're looking at a data set here that's, from the very bottom to the very top, multi-million-dollar homes, right? So you do have a pretty good spread here, but this data set includes the median basis. This is what this is based off of. So we saw here that this is at 95%. I do expect that we'll probably actually sit in this range for quite a while. It's really going to depend on what happens with the overall economy as well as what happens with interest rates. The thing about real estate you have to keep in mind is that it's such a hyper local thing that it can vary drastically from market to market. So just looking at this information here, I believe we'll probably continue to see homes listed in that 500,000 mark. We'll probably see home sales somewhere in the high 400,000 range, and we'll probably see this ratio right here continue to sit somewhere between 3 to 7% below the full listing price, right? So that's going to be somewhere between, let's say 93% all the way up to maybe 97%. The other thing I want to look at here is days on market, which we saw jump up drastically up to 54. Now compare that back to early 2022. We were actually at 5 days on market. This basically means if you were selling a home during this time, you listed it and you had offers a couple of days later and you went under contract at that time. That's absolutely crazy, and it's definitely not a healthy market when that is happening. There was a lot of buyers who were overpaying. There's a lot of buyers who were unable to get a home because they were selling so quickly. So we've now seen that change, and on a median basis, I should say, we're now looking at a 54 days on market time frame. So if you list a home right now, you can expect to sit on the market for at least 1 to 2 months, right? If you price it a little bit more aggressively, or if you've got a really unique home, it might sell quicker. But if you're priced too high, you could end up sitting on the market for 3 or 4 months before you find a buyer. And you're probably going to go through at least a couple of price drops during that time as well. Coming back up here, if we actually take a look at years past. We've been extremely low, even into 2021 down here in the single digits. But if we come back here to kind of pre-COVID times, we're generally sitting about a month. So we're well over that. We're almost double what we were prior, which is, definitely higher than where we normally are, right? And so I think the big thing to kind of watch here is going to be days on market, how long homes are sitting on the market. We're also going to want to pay attention to the inventory, how many homes are actually being listed, and then also the number of home sales that are actually happening. This home sale number is down pretty substantially. Here in February, we're halfway through the month and we've had 64 home sales. So, just kind of basing off of this, projecting into the future, we could probably end up February somewhere in the, 130 to 170 range, which is still going to be down substantially from where it normally is. So with that said, let's go ahead and actually zoom out here and take a look at Salt Lake County. So I want to clear this criteria. And as we do that, guys, make sure to check out the newsletter in the description box below. We send out a weekly newsletter talking about Salt Lake. We include some information about the videos here that we post, but we also have a lot of information that we don't actually share in these videos in that newsletter, right? So we're putting out information, we're putting out news articles. If you want to learn more about what it's like to live, work, eat, sleep, and play here along the Wasatch Front, you're definitely going to want to sign up for that. So make sure to go and check that out down in the description box below. And just one more quick plug on that. If you're thinking about making a move here to Utah, make sure to reach out to me, call, text, or email anytime. I love hearing from you guys, and I cannot wait to hear from you who's watching this video right now. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we've pulled up the statistics here for the county of Salt Lake, right? So we're looking at the entire Salt Lake County here, and this is going to be all home types, all price ranges. So if we zoom out here just slightly, let me get rid of that and come down here. January 2023, we saw home sales down substantially, right? We're at 590 home sales for the entire county. If we actually compare that to last year, we were at 927 in January. Again, this is going to be seasonal, so we do expect January's to be the slowest month overall, but so far it's shaping up that February is going to be pretty slow as well, when usually we start to see things pick up going into February and then into March and spring and then into summer, right? So we're starting the month here, or we're starting the data set here at 590 home sales, which is down substantially, about 40% from what we saw last year. Home sales are very much the same story. We're actually at a $491,000 sales price. And if we go back here, we actually topped out in May at 560. So home prices are down roughly $70,000, which is going to put you, that's probably like 12% off of the all-time highs that we saw back in May. We saw almost 3 times the number of home sales back at this time. So the market was just absolutely on fire. Days on market was extremely low, and many homes were selling for above the listing price. That's what this ratio shows right here. Again, you can see that this has kind of fallen off as we went into August, September. It started to drop. We started to see more and more homes get negotiated on, especially going into the end of last year. And now that's started to level off. We're starting to see homes get listed at more realistic prices, and we're also starting to see sales prices actually kind of start to level off somewhat, right? We saw home prices here at 500. We saw it into December at 480. Then in January, we backed up to 491 actually, and then we're at 486 here in February at the time being. So we're actually starting to see sales prices kind of level off. It'll be really interesting to see if home prices continue to dip or if they actually start to stay flat at this point in time. My personal opinion, I think we'll probably see at least another 3 to 5% decline over the next couple of months, just as interest rates, continue to be volatile, and there's a lot of people kind of on the sidelines. I think we'll probably see prices drop just slightly. And I also think that if you're a buyer in this market, you can actually negotiate that off right up front, right? You can kind of shortcut the market and say, hey, rather than wait for prices to come down 3%, I'm going to jump into the market now and just negotiate 3 to 5% off of the listing price and be able to kind of shortcut where I think the market is going to go. So that's kind of what I've been projecting in the market. Of course, everybody's situation is different, so it entirely depends on what your situation is. If you're looking to be in this for the long run, then I think that buying still definitely makes sense. However, if you're looking for just a short-term gain, now is not the time to be purchasing a home. It just doesn't make sense. So with that being said, hopefully this kind of gives you an overview of what's happening in the market. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Drop a comment on your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And also don't forget to reach out to me and check out that newsletter. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate here in Utah, I want to be your trusted real estate resource. Thanks for watching the video. I'll catch you in the next one.